What's up, everybody? Sparrow Gun here from Sleepless with another episode on Space Engineers. In the last episode we were dealing with a bit of an oxygen crisis. We still kind of are. We only have about 6% oxygen. The system has kind of eaten our ice. Now, there is one step that I took to slow this process down, and that is there's a mod on the workshop that's supposed to be something of a more realistic balance for the oxygen. That's the word I was looking for. It's more of a... Oh, it did work. Okay, so I also added a mod that changes the connectors to where you have more variety of connectors and ejectors and all that kind of stuff. But it's supposed to completely overwrite the vanilla ones. So as you can see, these are completely different now, which is kind of cool. So, the oxygen mod, basically, it doesn't really change the mechanics, it just changes the balancing to where the oxygen in your suit lasts longer. Let's see, what else happens? The way that it generates oxygen takes less ice, but it causes it to generate slower. Tanks, I think, can hold less. So just a few little balance retweaks, but mainly the most important part was it slows how much oxygen you use in your suit. I think by default, the game was set up to use like all of your oxygen in about 20 minutes, whereas the mod adds it to where it's about 3 hours, I think. So some of it may be considered a little cheaty, I don't know, but for me it seemed a little ridiculous, at least to get started. Like, once we get a ship that can get the ice, process it, things like that, I may remove that mod again to where it goes back to the default, but I feel like it would have been different if we were set up for oxygen and then they made the update, but the fact that it just updated the world, I feel like was kind of a... Not like I'm ragging on the developers or anything, but it was a little spontaneous that there was no... My ship is not airtight. I didn't have oxygen generators or tanks or pretty much anything like that. So it was kind of a curveball type thing. So we wanted to be able... I at least wanted to be able to buy myself some time to get set up and prepared for storing and making oxygen, so that then, once we have a good pipeline for it, if we wanted to, if we felt like, okay, the mod makes it a little OP, whatever, we can retweak it. But, so first things first. First thing on the docket is the bigger new ship is on postpone at the moment, until we get the oxygen status kind of fixed and in a better situation. Some of you suggested moving the Mark III and bringing the new ship with us to a asteroid that has oxygen. Problem with that, I built this as a station. Yeah. So, this doesn't appear to be charging either. That's not good. Because if this is going to be sitting here, we at least want it to be charging. What is it? NVM batteries? Okay, 5 current input, max stored power. Okay, so this is in recharge mode. Oh, this was charged, it's just off. Okay, never mind. We're good. Actually, so we don't use that power, let's just go ahead and turn this one off as well. Okay, we have 100% in our oxygen bottle. I'm not sure when that kicks in. I think the oxygen bottles were also retrofitted to where they use about... Oh, what did they say? They said they use about 50%. They fill about 50% of your suit, I think. Oh, and I never stole these either. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is make a mining ship that will be able to go out, mine the oxygen, but I think temporarily, instead of air sealing the Mark III, since we're going to scrap this anyway once the new one is done, I think I'm going to keep it as our oxygen ship, in that the the oxygen will be piped into the cockpit, and at that point, then we can do... Whoops, didn't mean to do that. At that point, then we can basically just use the ship as a system for refueling our oxygen, basically. We won't need the whole ship to be that way, so... Okay, this one's looking pretty cheap. I'll probably go with just whatever is the cheapest cockpit. 30... 15, 5, 1, 10. Okay, so these look like they're set up to be like the default, which is good. 15, 5, 1, 10, 10. Ooh, hello. You're even cheaper. You don't need... I wonder, though, if this will affect the oxygen in terms of it being airtight. Like, this doesn't have glass, by the looks of things. Huh, that's interesting. But yeah, we're gonna have to do something relatively quick. We'll put that in there. Let's grab a grinder, put that back. Go ahead and put that there. Let's do kind of our stock stuff that we usually end up needing. We're gonna need to make more computers by the looks of things. We could probably do less of those. I think that's about all the stuff we usually need. The other stuff we can grab as we need it. So I'm going to build this out here, and then we'll probably work on charging the batteries later, because I like any ship, I want to make any of them have batteries and stuff. So okay, new small ship, because this doesn't need to be a big ship. Let's make it like, nope, this way. There we go, that's good. Now, what does this one look like? Now, the only thing with this, I don't think this one will work, because since it doesn't use glass, I'm kind of thinking that also implies that it's not sealed. If it's not sealed, I wonder if there's other... if there's other things besides something, like maybe it doesn't have cockpit in it. Mayhaps. Okay, there's flight seats. We could make a little SNCN one, but I don't know that that would be sealed either. So let's go with... These all are stock, or stock cost as far as building the ships go. We could just use a standard one, but I like using the mods because they're here, so kind of one of those, if you have them in here, probably should use them. This one is... that's not that bad. Okay, let's grab... These two look the same. 3 and 3. Let's grab these two and see what the difference looks like. I don't see any difference. But we're gonna go with B. Though, now that I think about it, we might have to go with the vanilla, because I don't know if these mods have actually updated to use the oxygen setup. See, these, you can tell, actually have a conveyor slot on them now. And these are definitely cheaper. And there should be one on the bottom. Yes. Okay, so we basically have two areas. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. that. And I have a theory that I'm probably not going to use landing gears anymore. Since I added that maglock mod, I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to use that for everything now. Okay, we need some displays, and if we I don't think we have bulletproof glass. We might, though. Alright. Display. Let's put some of these back. Oh, there was some right there. We're just gonna grab that. Okay. 85% oxygen. I'm hoping that we can basically get this done and fly it out there. For now, it's gonna be a reactor that we're gonna end up using. Okay, that'll do. So what I'm gonna do is let me work on setting this up, and then I will be back when we're ready to... kind of like at each phase, probably. I'll probably do this in stages and see where we're at. Okay, so here's my first stage that I've got going on. I put 3 SNCN batteries in here, which I'm not sure how those work in terms of battery life, so I put 3 of them just in case. The small cockpits now have 2 smaller conveyor ports that lead right where those are on both sides, as well as a larger one on the bottom, which I'm not really sure why they put larger conveyor bays on smaller ships, since like the drills and welders and stuff seem to... well, I don't know about the welders, but the drills only have a small port, so I'm like, I don't really understand the point of that unless it's just for connecting to bigger ships and things. So I put the batteries in there. This is a tank. Now, I have a couple of different kinds from mods. This is the vanilla one for small ships. Then you have this one. I think this is a product of the small ship mod, where it takes all the large ship blocks and puts them in a small ship situation. It's not a bad idea, but I don't know if its generation is low or anything, so I'm sticking with the vanilla ones for now. This is the tank, which you can see right here. And then you've got another one of their custom... oh, it actually tells the name. Okay, so custom. And then there's a newer mod that does small oxygen tank and mini oxygen tank, which is interesting. Actually, truth be told, I could have put these a block back. Ooh, that's an idea. Let's do that. We can give ourselves more storage room. So instead of the conveyor tube, so you can see the block right there, we'll put these here instead. And it will basically act as a second buffer for the tanks. And we can also put gyroscopes or something in the middle here, which would be cool. Alright, so now we need a vanilla tank. And we're going to put... why can't I connect to these blocks? That's very strange. Okay. Let's just put something there so it can find an anchor point, I guess. It's very odd. Alright. Get that out of there. So you have a small tank there, not a small one. And then we'll put... this one has, just like the tank, it has a bigger port and then 2 smaller ones on the back. So we'll put that there. Now, what I'd like to do... this gives us a spot for gyroscopes, so let's go ahead and put those in place. So I don't end up... I think we're good on the tanks and stuff now. So we have gyroscopes, new SF gyros. These are for small ships, though. Hull side gyro, I don't know what those are. We have mini and regular. Let's see how these stack up in terms of resources. Okay, so the SNCN gyroscopes and the default ones, the SNCNs are cheaper, I believe. Well, this requires more motors. We'll just stick with the regular ones, I guess. And for now, we'll put in 3. As to whether or not we actually need that many, I don't know. But for now, we're going to need more large steel tubes. Oh, I didn't think about that. Crap. Gotta do the middle one first. Okay, let me go grab that real quick. I think we need 3 total, and then we can proceed. Alright, there we go. And we're gonna have to recharge here in a minute. Okay, there's that one. Let's put one right here. Again, I don't know if I'll need this many or not, but don't bump it. Crap. I did bump it. Oh, that's weird. They don't have any power, but just putting them there... Wow, that's weird. Okay. I mean, it's great, but weird. Now we have to work on the drills. There's a couple different drill types that we have based on the mods. These are very expensive by comparison, though. You can tell just by this. I mean, look at the 1 to 10 motors, 20 instead of 4, 40 instead of 8. Like, it's kind of expensive. Now, the other thing is I'm fairly certain that... Actually, these are more expensive than the stock ones. Well, that's different. I didn't see that coming. So, we'll just use these then. Question is, where do I want to put them? I could actually do with just one, maybe. Because this is kind of a simple ship. We just want to get it done. And one drill, if we keep it streamlined, should be enough to cover our various directions, and then we'll basically pipe back to this one. Alright, let me go recharge my pack, gather a few more resources here and there, and then we'll come back for probably finishing up the drill architecture and working on thrusters and things like that. Alright, so we've got our drill set up here for the main, and then we've got our piping set up back here. It'll basically, we're going to drill up there, get the ice, it'll pipe it back to the generator, and then that goes into a bigger tank, then that goes into 2 smaller buffer tanks that then goes into the cockpit. You have battery for energy. There's a couple other things that I want to end up adding to it at some point, but right now we're just trying to get it functional. Like, at some point I'd like to have maybe a split system here that goes to a cargo container. Actually, we could probably do that now. Maybe. If we reconfigure... Let's put in container. Ooh, mine container. That's new. Reaction control thruster. I don't like using the cargo containers from the SNCN mod unless it's an SNCN ship. Mostly because it just doesn't behave very well. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't like things. As far as piping in and out of them, stuff like that, it just doesn't usually work well. Okay, we also have the azimuth containers, but I don't know that they hold that much. Small containers don't have the larger ports, I don't think. A large container may be too big, so let's probably end up going with a medium. Yeah, the larger ones are a bit big. I don't really want to use that. And the smaller ones, even though we're in modded, still don't have anything that has a bigger port on it. Though, again, it doesn't really matter that much because of the drills. The part where a medium container is nice would be, oh, I wasn't thinking about that. We'll have to connect to... Ooh. Maybe... The part where the small ones aren't that great is that you have to have them... There's no way to connect to the sides. Like, if we connected to them here, we'd have to have smaller ports here and here and here, and, you know, you can't get them to do what I'd want them to do. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, one thing we could do, just for a buffer, is put... Okay. Is put one here, and then all we'd have to do... Actually, we could put a couple here. All we'd have to do is change these to... Actually, let's check this one real quick. Let's see what this has. Looks like a small port there. So it's basically got two small ports on the side, but I don't like its collision box. That's not that helpful to me. So let's do T's. Where's a T junction? Corner... We'll keep the small ones. Let's do a T in one of these corners. See if that will... Oh, wow. Those are big. Okay. Not exactly what I was looking for. T. Let's try an S corner. See if that'll work. So, with a T-junction here, what we can do is like that. Perfect. We'll have one going into the oxygen port, one going into the container, and then one going down. Works fine. We could do the same thing here, I suppose. Actually, hold on. That's not what I really wanted to do. We are going to keep the S corners, but what I actually need is a four-way split, I think. T, S corner, S edge, maybe? I don't know what some of these are. Or a 5-point? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what this one does. The 5-point I think is too much. I need a 4. Okay, this is... Is this what I need? Yes, that right there is what I was looking for. Okay. So what this is going to do is we'll put one of these in the middle, right? If I can remember which one that is. And this will... Nope, that's the wrong one. Gosh, I cannot keep these straight. S corner. No. Dang it. Edge? No, that's 5-point. Which one of these did I just have a second ago that was exactly what I needed? This one. Aha! I found you. Okay, now before I lose it, it's number 8. Aha! So what that'll let us do is it'll let us go into the container and then up another one. Now we're going to put T sections here? No. Corners. Actually, we don't even need those. We can just do the standard ones. For this. And then we'll do a S corner here? No, a T. Need a T here. There we go. Now what this will let us do is we can actually have 3 buffer chests. Nope. Right there. There we go. Now we're talking. Alright, so we have our storage, we have our air. Now we just need thrusters. So if you'll give me just a second, I'm going to work on planning out the thruster section. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I give you... I have to change that name. The oxygen driller. So I use this handy-dandy mod. It's called M Thruster, I think. I don't know what the exact name of the mod is, but that was the name of the thruster. And they're these tiny little, like, slab-type thrusters. They're 1 block, so you can also do slopes, but I like these little ones. I put a ore detector and a small azimuth antenna on here. I put a small reactor just to get the thing powered, and it is currently also charging the batteries. And then I put 2 mag locks on it as well. So, one thing that I'm noticing is I don't see an oxygen meter for the cockpit, which is odd. But we could put this on stockpile mode. Where's the... Okay, so that's that. Oxygen tank. Filled, doesn't have anything... Okay, auto refill. Oxygen generator. I don't know if I want that on or not. I'm not really sure what that does. Use conveyor system. That's all well and good. I think it's for bottles. It actually works pretty well, though. The thrusters and everything move pretty good. I have pretty much 2 of each direction, except for... Or, I mean, 4 of each direction, except for, up and down is 2, and back is 2. Left, right, and forward are double, because those are typically the things you do most with. We do get a little bit of a jerk while we're drilling. I don't have... If we added some armor blocks, maybe the mass would change. Gyroscopes, plenty. In fact, I will probably turn off one of them. Let's turn you off. Actually, we could probably just go with 1. 1 gyroscope would probably be enough. So yeah, that works out pretty good. I don't know if I were to turn off... Okay, so we're at power usage of 8%. It does overload when we use thrusters, though, with a double direction. We have 1 day on the fuel time or hours. If I turn on the charging rate on the batteries, then it goes to super power use. Oh, oxygen none. It says right up there in the gravity thing. Okay. So I'm going to head out. Let's turn off the dampeners and let's move forward. It actually moves at a pretty good clip. I think this is the right asteroid. I'm pretty sure it was that one right there. Let's bring it down a bit. So yeah, I put the reactor's not going to stay there. I may, in fact, even put solar panels on the sides, because we could probably fit it on the sides and the top, maybe. And maybe I wouldn't put one on the bottom. It has to dock somewhere. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I can pretty much just let it coast. One thing while we're coasting here, I did want to bring up. This is something I've been thinking about, so don't worry about it being like, where's the links and all this yet. This is just something I'm throwing around the idea of. I'm interested in kind of upping my... This is not the right... Is it? We're gonna crash, burn, and die. Or detector. Oh, that was on. Is this the right asteroid? I thought it was the right asteroid. My ore detector is apparently not picking up anything at the moment. Oh, there we go. Silver, cobalt. It should have been right here. Oh, I didn't put lights on it. Ice. Here we go. Yeah, this is the right spot. Okay. So let's test this out here. Come on. Okay. Inventory, small oxygen tank, oxygen generator, and it's using the oxygen. Okay, cool. So the small cargo, it already pulled the ice, which is awesome, and the small cargo container pulled in the iron that we got. That's great. Okay, and the oxygen tank... If I put this in stockpile mode, will I get it? Because its use conveyor system is on. And it's maybe it's generating just slow. Maybe it's just going too slow for it to have pulled in anything as of yet. I'm not sure. Not sure what to make of that. But the more ice we have, the better anyway. So this works pretty well. Between the generators, or gyroscopes and everything, we can move around pretty good and get what we need. I should have put lights on it, though. But one thing that I'm thinking about is I've seen a lot of stuff that, like, lately has been causing frame rate issues and having to not do as many creative builds and stuff like that. Between space engineers, Subnautica, medieval engineers specifically, you know, things of that nature. So I really would like to look into upgrading my system, but at the moment, I'm trying to make YouTube a full-time position at the moment, kind of thing. Like, I haven't gotten another job, which has been very difficult as far as I've had family and stuff that's basically been supporting me and keeping me afloat while I try and build my channel up. So I've been contemplating the idea of opening a Patreon campaign thing, and for those of you that don't know, Patreon is sort of like Kickstarter, only instead of one big project that everybody funds, and then when it reaches funding, you make it and release it. It's more of a supporting somebody that's already creating stuff anyway. It just helps make their life easier, in essence, and you can get, depending on what the campaign is set up as, you can set things up to where, like, there's benefits or bonuses or something of that nature. I don't know exactly what all my... Like I said, I'm not really in the stage of setting that up just yet, but I wanted to throw that idea out there and see if anyone would be on board with the idea, because there's really not a ton of a point of starting one like that and then having it turn around and, you know, you're not really getting anything from it. But it could supplement my stuff that I'm making off of YouTube, because I'm making money off of YouTube. I've got enough of a viewership and subscribers to do that at the moment. It's just not nearly as much as like having a job kind of thing. And I would like to make this a job to where I don't have to worry about if I can pay my bills and do that kind of thing, and I'd like to get out from under having to have support from family and things of that nature and be able to just stand on my own 2 feet. So I'm curious about that as to the reactions and thoughts and things of that nature of, no, I don't really have any interest in that, but I enjoy your videos, you know, things like that. Or if it's like, you know, yeah, sure, that's great, I'd love to support, you know, things of that nature. I'm just looking for feedback on that kind of an idea. If I were to open a page, if I'd have anybody that's on board already to help support that. Just as, I guess it's kind of a feeler, is basically feeling out to see what kind of a reaction I would get from that idea. So again, I'm not in the stage where I'm going to be posting links for it or anything right now. It was just an idea that I had, wondering about if there'd be anybody out there willing to do something like that, and if so, how many there would actually be, and if it would be worth starting a page. So I'm thinking about doing that because it would help me support just paying bills and saving up and being able to buy new equipment, new software, make better videos so that you guys could enjoy more. And things of that nature. It's all one of those full circle of life type of thing, I guess. But I think we're about out of time here. Ooh, 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 don't break the new ship. Don't break the new ship. Okay. So I did quite a bit of gathering there. How's our... We're at 5,000 oxygen generator. Okay, cool. We're at 6%. Oxygen in the cockpit is high, and my oxygen is awesome. Awesome. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do here is add a couple of features, like a connector, maybe, so that I can link up inside my main ship and dump ice there, you know, things of that nature. Also, I'd like to put solar panels on this so that I can charge my batteries more accurately, and we can, like, you know, I could... let's turn this off for now. I could just basically fly out here and park in front of the sun and then let it charge the batteries. It can be making air, you know, and that's pretty... This is my life support system, essentially, which is working really well, actually. It's a lot better than I expected. So I think we're going to end the episode here on that note. Do leave your feedback for me in the comments if you wouldn't mind. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!